The Book of Mormon is often criticized for having nearly 5,000 textual changes that have accrued over the years, excluding punctuation changes. Critics use this as fuel for the argument that the Book of Mormon could not have been translated by the power of God because of the obvious imperfections in the text. What is rarely acknowledged, however, is that many of these so-called errors are also found in the King James Version of the Bible. The following video compares the first edition of the Book of Mormon and the King James Version of the Bible. Error number 1. Deleting a superfluous "for" in many Book of Mormon passages. Here are some examples of the first edition of the Book of Mormon compared to the King James Version of the Bible. In 1 Nephi chapter 2 verse 11 it states, "And their precious things for to perish in the wilderness." And in Mosiah chapter 20 verse 1 it states, "The daughters of the Lamanites to gather themselves together for to sing." This error that has been corrected is also found in the Bible, such as in Matthew chapter 11 verse 14, where it states, "And if ye will receive it, this is Elias, which was for to come." And in Luke chapter 4 verse 16, "He went into the synagogue on the Sabbath day and stood up for to read." Error number 2. A superfluous "a" which was deleted. Critics are quick to attribute this error in the Book of Mormon to Joseph's backwoods slang. Unfortunately, this error is also found in the Bible. For example, in Alma chapter 10 verse 7 it states, "As I was a-journeying to see a very near kindred." And in Luke chapter 8 verse 42, where it states, "For he had only one daughter, about 12 years of age, and she lay a-dying." Error number 3, a superfluous "that" which was deleted. Examples of this are found in 1 Nephi chapter 1 verse 17, where it states, "Wherefore, after that I have abridged the record of my father," and in 1 Nephi chapter 2 verse 11, "because that he was a visionary man." And compare that to Acts chapter 1 verse 2, which states, "Until the day in which he was taken up, after that he through the Holy Ghost had given commandments." Error number 4, changing the word "exceeding" to "exceedingly." Examples of this are found in 1 Nephi chapter 2 verse 16, where it states, "I, Nephi, being exceeding young," and in Matthew chapter 2 verse 16, where it states, "Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth." Error number 5, using the present tense when talking about past events. Examples of this can be found in Mosiah chapter 11 verse 27, where it states, "He was also wroth, and he saith, Who is Abinadi?" And in Matthew chapter 2 verse 13, where it states, "And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeareth to Joseph in a dream." Error number 6, changing the word "which" to "who" and "whom." This is probably one of the most common errors that were changed in the Book of Mormon. However, this form of language is rampant in the Bible. Examples of this are in 1 Nephi chapter 8 verse 27, where it states, "Pointing their fingers towards those which had come at and were partaking of the fruit." And in Matthew chapter 5 verse 48, where it states, "Even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect." Most of the textual changes in the Book of Mormon since its first publication in 1830 involve similar minor errors. Critics will often tout the fact that there are 5,000 textual changes in the Book of Mormon, but just because the number of changes is large doesn't mean it's significant.